Welcome into Sport Talk with the show number 11. I got Casper back on the show again, back on here full time. What's going on, Casper?
Just up here full time eating some daggum barbecue chips on a Sunday, son. How's your weekend been?
Oh, it was really good. It did watch some of the Georgia Tech Georgia Friday night. Did not go quite like I wanted to go. Saturday did some pickleball, some walking, and watching football. And Sunday did some more pickleball and some more walking today, and then watch some of the NFL Titans. I'll get down here in a little bit. Didn't get to watch the Titans. They were on Fox same time as the Falcons, so that was a unique TV situation that we'll get into in here a little bit. But that was my weekend.
That's good. Well, my weekend started off pretty good. I don't know if you caught the news there Friday, but YouTube TV and ESPN got their crap worked out. Thank God. I mean, brother, I'd been doing the hard research. I really didn't want to go back to YouTube TV yet, even if they got the deal done, but because I'm just kind of pissed off about it. But bro, there was nothing out there. I got it for $7 cheaper now, and I get 10 days free. So hey, we'll take it. Walk back in, get them multi screens, baby.
Yeah, I was just trying to be patient with it, and when I saw it after they came out with the news, I was glad to hear it, and I texted my dad about it, and some of some friends about that had YouTube. So that was good. I'm glad they're back. Hopefully, it sounded like it was a long term deal for a couple years at least. So that's shouldn't be any more tension between these TVs. For now at least.
At least for a minute. Yeah, I was worried if they didn't get it worked out. I mean, I go and started looking around at other providers, and I was like, "There's not really a good option other than going back to like cable TV." So,
yeah,
glad they got it done.
Yeah, me too. All right, anything else weekend wise for you?
I mean, I went to the race yesterday. Made the decision to not watch football. Pretty much went to the race, took my iPad, watched football at the race. That is where it's at, just for the record. Thank God, 2025, we can watch football at the racetrack on multi-screen on YouTube TV on the iPad. That was fantastic. But it's a good weekend. Other than that, didn't do a whole lot. Just kind of hanging out. I got to get back on a diet. I gained about 80 pounds now. So see if we can't get cranking on that. Got some chicken about to go on the grill, but
Okay. Hey, that sounds good right there. All right, college football week number 12. I'll go into the Texas at Georgia game. Came on 7:30 on ABC. Georgia's only got one loss. Texas got two. So now they got 3 losses now. So they're 10. They're 7-3 now. So they're out of the picture, I think. Game started off a little slow. Texas got up 7-3, and so it was 7-3 Georgia, and then in the first quarter was 7-3, and then it was 14-3 at halftime. Georgia gets up, and if this game was on ABC, I thought it'd have a really good feel, a good vibe to it, and just Texas they just choking these big games. And is it time for Arch Manning it's time for him to move on?
No. I mean, Arch is. Here's the thing we got to remember about Arch. This is still year one for Arch playing football full time. I mean, at the end of the day, we can't forget that. Georgia's a good team. I know you don't like to hear that, but it is what it is. A couple things that I noticed, I didn't watch this whole game because I was at the racetrack. A couple things I noticed: 9 penalties for 58 yards to 1 penalty for Georgia for Texas. That's not going to do it. And then, that first possession when they got the ball, kick that field goal, you can't do that. You need to get that touchdown. You go on the road. To me, when you're playing a top 5 team, you go on the road first possession, you just dang near need to go for it on 4th down because you're kind of going to win or lose right then or there, in my opinion. But I don't know. Overall, Georgia's good. Texas is okay, but yeah, Arch ain't it. Arch ain't it.
Yeah, that's. I thought it was going to come out and be a closer game, and I think Arch will hopefully next year he'll get some players around him, some linemen and some guys out and catch the ball, and just got to be able to win the big games and big moments. And if we just didn't get that today, last night out of him, but I think he'll just stick around there. He'll be fine. I think I'm sure their fans are wanting to win, and they'll probably get tired of getting beat by Georgia. That makes 3 they've lost 3 in a row to Georgia now in different type of games, whether it's a conference championship game or at Texas at Georgia. So that's part
strong.
of it.
Sark strong. I guess to kind of wrap this one up, my question for you is Texas. So you say they're out. I don't think they're out. I look at their losses. The only, I guess, ugly loss, really, technically on paper, was to Florida, like at Florida, but it's at Florida when Tennessee's about to lose at Florida. So, like, I understand. So, I still think if they go and beat Texas A&M, I mean, we'll
They
see what
got
happens. But
yeah, yeah, that'll be a big game, and that'll be top rank. The rank number two overall. A&M is, and that's always a big rivalry game. And those games, you don't know what's going to happen, and we'll kind of with that coming up in the next couple of weeks with Tech and Georgia, and then you got that one. So there's a lot of good games here coming up here in 2 weeks. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one. All right, number 11 Oklahoma at number 4 Alabama. Man, I didn't know what to expect out of uh, Oklahoma this weekend, and they come out and they had the lead at halftime 17-14, and then they got the win 23-21, and they went in there to a hostile environment, and it was a 3:30 kick, so it was afternoon, but by the end of it, it was at night. So you don't see many teams go in there and beat them at home.
no. I mean, Oklahoma did what they had to do, came out and jumped on them. Again, I also didn't like their field goal, but they got away with it because they went and got a touchdown, holding Alabama scoreless in the first quarter. Uh, you know, Alabama, you hold them early, stay in it. This is one of those games where when you're Oklahoma, you just got to, play to stay in it, and they did. And I don't know. I mean, at the end of the game, just it's one of those things that happens. But at the end of the day, you can't turn the ball over 3 times. Can I get an amen? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to win ball games if you're going to fumble or throw interceptions and whatnot. So that was a little bit of a kind of a surprise for me. I would have picked Alabama to win that one, but so Oklahoma's going to they got 2 losses, and they'll keep rolling. And we'll see what they kind of shake out with the playoff system. We'll see kind of how that looks on Tuesday night when that comes out.
yeah, I mean, you got to start looking at where they're going to jump, and it's going to get real interesting. We'll talk about it more, I'm sure, on our next show or whatever after the rankings come out. But they pretty much have a cruise here at the end of the year. So right now, to me, Oklahoma's looking at 10-2. So, uh, I don't think they're going to go to the SEC championships. I think they're going to be riding pretty much the perfect spot, probably host, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. But they look like they are where you want to be, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, Georgia Tech at Boston College. Tech, they're a 9-1 now, and they're playing 1-9 Boston College. And this game was really kind of stressing me out.
That's good.
I got a lot of here I'll go over, but I'll kind of cut to chase a little bit on it. Just Tech is in that white and gray, and I just don't like it. I saw it in person. Maybe it's just me in gray. Maybe I'm the
What's
problem.
in your shirt? You're wearing gray
It's
right
gray. It's
now.
like a light gray. They're wearing a dark gray. Kind of like that smoke gray we'll get into here in just a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
So Tech is it's tied at halftime 14-14. Tech missed the field goal going into halftime, so it should have been 17-14. I think it's like a 49-yard, and the guy was like 1 yard short. So as I'm watching this game early on, it's kind of back and forth, and then Boston College Tech has the lead, and Tech gets in so it's tied 14-14 at halftime. So this is when it's like, okay, they're not very good, but they got a couple of good players, and they could get the ball to these guys that were good, and that one guy was really good. He had longer hair, man. He was a good wideout, and he was catching those balls really good there. But then good teams find ways to win, and bad teams can sometimes collapse there towards the end. So then Boston College gets the lead here in the third quarter. Boston College is looking pretty good. And I'm watching this game live, and I'm getting nervous because I'm going to the game next Saturday, and it's going to be at 7 o'clock. So the time came out, and if they can win this game against Boston College and then win against Pitt, then we get locked into the conference championship game. So that's big. So we got past the first step. But Boston College, they got the ball. They had the lead late, and then they scored with a 14 to go in the game, and then they're up 34-33 with 4:09 to go, and then so then Boston College comes out, so they score, and then Tech comes out, and they kick this field goal with like 9 seconds to go or something like that, and it's good, but the coach calls a timeout. So what happened was that Coach Key thought he got a first down, and he calls a timeout, and just like, it's fine in this game, it's not a big deal, they won. But if this happens next week or this happens in 2 weeks against Georgia, and you give the other good team a chance to score, then it's not going to end well. So like I wasn't too worried about it because I knew it was Boston College and they had to go a long ways. But they got the ball to midfield and they threw the Hail Mary, and you don't know. So my takeaway from this is beat Boston College. Now we're gonna play Pitt at night to lock into the conference. We're gonna lock into the conference championship game next Saturday night. I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be an awesome atmosphere, probably the best atmosphere in the last maybe 20 years. And it's gonna be a late night getting home, but I'm all for it. I'll drive
Well,
home and get us home safe. But
I need to call y'all in a hotel for a loss. Like if y'all lose,
it'd
just
be
let me
nice,
know. Put
but
me on call.
it's
I'll see
gonna
if
be
I can
a
get you one.
it's gonna be a sad drive home if it doesn't go
Yeah,
well.
y'all are
But
gonna be leaving in the third quarter, down 20. No, I mean I really hope not. But whew, man, well, I'm gonna give Georgia Tech the Ramblin' Wreck. I'm gonna give them the pass coming off the bye week after the loss. We'll give it to them. Definitely gonna. No, you can't play that football against Pitt though. You can't do it. It will not go well. So, but they'll
right, and
they'll
the
get her together.
Pitt, they lost, so they're coming off a loss, so they'll be motivated. And it's just gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a unique game. Both teams are gonna have a lot to play for. If you don't win this game, then it could get messy with who goes to Charlotte to play. So I'm just the best way to take care of all these different ways to get there is just win, and you ain't got to worry about those other scenarios that we'll get into more
Yeah.
on the next show.
You guys playing Pitt basically to go to Charlotte is interesting. At the end of the day, I mean, kind of one of y'all is going to get there. It looks like another one ain't. So, definitely big time football. I hope y'all have a good time. I'm glad it's a night game. That should be. I would think that would probably be the most exciting home game Tech's had in a minute. I would think.
Yeah,
Right?
it's there have been many in the last couple in the last years that's been wanting to go to,
Yeah.
and one that locks you into a conference championship game. So
Yeah. A lot on the line.
a lot
A
on
lot
the
on the
line,
line.
and just if we just take care of our business and we play smart, I just feel like that defense has really been slacking the last couple of weeks with NC State and now with Boston College. You just got to which these days they get high scoring. Each team's got these players that get paid good money, and they're going to get these players that can score. So games aren't really low scoring. I don't feel like anymore. So if you see these games that go back and forth, kind of like we'll see here with Florida here in a minute, just that's just how it is these days. You
Yeah.
just got to be able to score more than the other team. I think at the end.
Yeah, I mean, or the defense has to come up with a stop. I mean, I think that's the big thing. One thing too, just kind of looking at the box score, like it looks like Boston College played their about most complete game of the year. They ran the ball, didn't turn it over. Like that's basically how they stayed in the game, from what I can tell. Not watching it, but we'll see what happens. Y'all are gonna. The other thing you got to remember, y'all have got everybody's best shot too, because you've been at the top of
Yeah,
the conference. That's not something you've been used to getting for a while either. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So
Yeah, you know, that you say that it makes sense. I mean, people are going to want to beat you, and they're going to get your best game
yeah,
that day or that night, and that's what happened with Boston College. They're a team that's won one
yeah,
game all year, but we're coming into their house and they gonna win it, and
yeah.
it's that's part of it, and we'll get the win and we'll move on. And I'm not sure what the spread is for that Pitt game, but hopefully we'll be favored by. It'd be cool if they give us maybe a touchdown or 10 point favor. That'd be kind of good to
Not gonna
see.
happen. Not gonna happen. Probably, I would say 6.5,
Six and a
probably
half.
at best. I mean, a touchdown's a lot in a game
Yeah.
like that. That's gonna, y'all are gonna be biting them fingernails till the end. Don't worry.
All right, New Mexico State 3-6 at Tennessee. Tennessee, that smoky gray. I'll let you talk about this one. What happened to Tennessee? Why didn't they cover the spread? What's going on with the quarterback?
Well, half the defense didn't play. Clearly that wasn't the issue though, because defense got 9. I mean, you know, I don't know what to say about this Tennessee team at this point. Aguilar, I personally think Joey Aguilar got exposed at Oklahoma. I was there. I watched it. I think he got exposed back to what Joey Aguilar was, and the reason that he was at Appalachian State. Not trying to take away from his story or anything, but like he's not the GOAT at the end of the day. Like I think if you go back and look, probably at our last, 4 quarterbacks, he's like third, probably. I probably put Nico at the bottom. I think he's a little bit better than Nico, but that's just because he got a little more dog in him. But the picks, you can't throw 2 picks against New Mexico State, man. Like you got one job, score every time down the field. And throwing picks is not scoring, right? So, I don't know. To me, it's a struggle to watch. Put up, 413 yards and all this crap, but like, you know. two picks. Like he's turned into a pick machine on us here. And I told you, I think on Thursday, I said if we didn't beat the spread, it's not a win, right? And so
Hmm.
it's not really a win. Obviously, the Oklahoma thing kind of sucks. Lose Boo Carter this week. He's leaving the team. I don't know if you've seen that
Oh yeah,
today, but
gosh.
he is officially the dumbest thing I've ever seen in college football. They're parting ways. No, Josh Heupel kicked his ass off the team because he couldn't show up to practice or whatever. Like, I hate that because I think the dude had some talent, but he clearly had some head issues going on. And I do, props to Josh Heupel for doing what needs to be done as far as that goes. Because in this day and age of winning is all that matters, and you're getting paid, and players are getting paid. Like, I props to him for that. But missing Carter and them on defense, like I said, I don't know. This is a rough time for Tennessee. That the Oklahoma win pretty well has guaranteed Tennessee is now out. So we'll see who falls off the bandwagon. You're getting to this part of the year, this week, next week, you're going to start seeing the transfer guys. Injuries are going to pop up. They're going to sit the rest of the year and start hunting around, fishing for some more money. So we'll see what happens. But I hate it for them, but they're falling apart. Straight up, if I was Tennessee, I would probably start Aguilar, and I would want to see McIntyre in the second quarter. I think you got like I was telling Pops before we did this today, like from Tennessee's perspective, season's over. So like it's time to take the NFL approach and let's see what second string, third string's got. Because at the end of the day, we need to know who we need next year and who needs to go. So, I'm kind of at that point of like let's start cycling some more guys in and see what we have. Because it ain't gonna be fun down there in the swamp. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I like how the coach kind of puts his foot down in certain ways with these players, and I feel like some coaches don't, and they let this
Yeah,
stuff linger and go on and on and on. And
yeah,
with Nico's situation and now Boo,
yeah.
I'm fine with it. I like that he takes care of these. He kind of puts his foot down in different ways. I like that. As a
I
fan,
do
I
too.
like it. And as a coach, I like to see it. So that's unique. I didn't hear about that news. So can Tennessee go the Swamp for the first time since what 2003 and beat Florida?
No, I mean we'll talk about it more, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
no, I mean no. It depends what Florida team shows up to play. Is the honest truth. So the Florida team that showed up in the first half against Ole Miss shows up and plays a full game. No, honestly, they don't have to show up for a half against Tennessee. They'll be up 45 points.
Yeah.
With how we are, it's a tough place to go. Night game in the swamp, man. That is not something that anybody like. That's you should never be favored there. It doesn't matter if they're 1-9 and you're 10-0. Like you should never be favored in the swamp. It's hard to do. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
We'll save all that for Thursday for the next show on Thursday night. Come on back for that show and we'll preview Florida and Tennessee. And then we'll talk a little bit about the Vandy game coming up soon on that show as well, maybe. All right. So Florida at Ole Miss. That came on at 7 o'clock. Ole Miss was favored by 14 and a half. Ole Miss was in the a light blue jersey with the blue helmet, and it looked really good. I was a really big fan of that color. This game was high scoring, back and forth. Florida had the lead. Man, they were playing good. They were playing for a team that's not have a lot to play for with the coaching situation and the record. Now they can't go to a bowl game. Man, they come out, they put it to them. And I don't know if that was Kiffin just kind of teasing them, but I think Florida was really just wanting to win that game.
I think it goes. I think part of it is like some of these players, if they're at Florida right now and he's maybe going there, uh, you're kind of trying out in front of your coach live,
Yeah.
in person, in action, right? So, and they played pretty good game first half. They kind of laid down second half, but
Yeah.
it's that typical Nick Saban assistant has learned that we make second half adjustments or whatever they do. They all say that's a lie, but I mean, look at it. Look at Kirby. Look at Kiffin. Even Sark has done the same thing. Although here this year he's gone absolutely to garbage in the second half. So I don't know, but go Florida, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of pulling for Ole Miss to win the Natty at this point, just to be honest with you. But we'll see what happens. I think that Ole Miss is probably looking past Florida a little bit, given their record. Probably got caught sleeping, was what I would say.
Yeah. And there was one point in the game, and those they were just bad. Those the play call the calls that they were making by the rest were just they were a mess. And there was one that was like a hands to the face on an extra point, and the rule is if the ball hits the net, then it would be like the kickoff. But the ball didn't hit the net, and it should have been. I always like in these games when I watch them. It's always like personal foul. Then they get the first down. It's never. I don't ever hear about being on the kickoff. So that was good. Lane was fired up, and then he had a good halftime talk with the sideline girl, and he just said, which he did say that they were wrong, and they wanted trying to admit to him that they did miss the call, but there was a couple of other calls that were questionable that the refs called.
SEC is the worst refs in college football. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's bad. I don't know why, but it is bad.
Yeah, that was a bad one. That was not the best of game they've called, and these guys make one bad call or two, and then it just sometimes it lingers into the entire game. Then they try to do like these calls to help, but they try to make another call to help the other call they miss, and it just doesn't even out. And I ain't really seen Kiffin that fired up about calls in a while, and he was out on the field hollering, and heck, I've been mad too if they're gonna mess around and affect the turnout of the game. But luckily, it didn't affect anything too bad, and Ole Miss gets to win 34-24. So real quick, I'll just go ahead and give my take on Lane Kiffin. This whole time I've been thinking he's going to stick around, but I think that was a good kind of what you're going to see. I think he's going to head to Florida. That's my guess.
I don't know. He could go anywhere. Apparently, the Dolphins have talked to him. The Titans have talked to him. I think he's just out here living his best life. I think he is the hottest commodity on the coaching market, and I think it's going to come down to who's got the best place to go and the most money and the best combination of the two. He could stay. I mean, this is what I would like to point out, and this is kind of why I'm pulling for Ole Miss at this point. But like, okay, so first of all, they're now 10-1. They're one of these first teams that's done. There's a lot of teams that still got 2 games to play. They play at Mississippi State. I don't know if you've seen Mississippi State play this year, but they lost to Tennessee Volunteers, so they ain't that good. I know it's a rivalry game, 12 o'clock kickoff. You're gonna have to show up. Get rid of that turkey. It's an early kick and all that. But like, man, in fact, that might be a Friday game. I think it is Friday at noon. Yeah. So like, really weird time slot, kind of, which to me like kind of favors Mississippi State to start the game. But surely, they'll come out and beat them. They're just not that good. But I mean, so Ole Miss is not in the SEC championship game at this point, unless Georgia loses, which ain't happening. So, A&M, I would probably still be in. They didn't play A&M, so you get those weird tiebreaker situations. But I mean, Georgia's conference schedule is done, so Georgia is in at this point. I don't know how the tiebreak work if A&M loses to Texas, but right now Ole Miss looks like they're hosting probably in the first round, if I had to guess, because the other teams are going to get a bye. So they're probably hosting. And, hey, Lane's going to have them ready for a night game down there in the SIP, as they call it. And I don't know. They're a good football team. I like watching them. I like the attitude on the players and the attitude on the coach, to be honest with you. So we'll see what happens. I don't know where he's going. Everybody wants him. I know that.
Texas A&M beat South Carolina 31-30, but South Carolina had a 30-3 lead at halftime, I believe, or at some point. And just how do you blow a 30-3 lead?
Because you ain't that good. At the end of the day, I mean, this is another one they caught them sleeping. I mean, it just and I don't know how, because they beat them last year, right? Like, didn't South Carolina beat A&M last year? So you think they come ready to play this game, but South Carolina's not that good. Beamer knows how to get a team up, play a good team. And again, like we talked about Georgia Tech, best shot. You get the best shot. If South Carolina wins that game, it makes their year, right? That's all they're playing for at that point. So, it's just one of those kind of deals. If you can ruin somebody's year, that's as good as winning your own year, right? So, I don't know. A&M, to me, clearly they're undefeated. Real deal so far. They got one top 10 win over Notre Dame. Barely. So, if they get the win over Texas, we'll see. But I mean, to me on paper, they're there. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. Some other teams that lost was a Pittsburgh that they lost, Texas lost, and Iowa lost. So those are some top 25 teams that went down this past weekend. So that'll kind of shake it up a little bit with some of the standings, but not a whole lot, minus Texas being out now.
Right. Yeah, I will see how it goes. I don't really think Texas is going to drop that far, to be honest with you. I mean, they lost to a team they're supposed to lose to, so
but that might go down to 12 or 13 or something like that, maybe.
The question is, do they drop out? Yeah, that is the big
Yeah.
question. Like, does three
Oh
loss
yeah. Yeah.
Texas? Are they out? Like that. I mean, to me, just to point this out, so they lost to Ohio State, who's now your number one. They lost to Georgia, who's going to be at worst fourth, which
Yeah.
I really think that win puts Georgia in third over Texas A&M. Just so like you lost to two
Yeah.
top four teams, and you played Ohio State, which you didn't have to do. They can't hold them out for that, right? Like they can't. So we'll see what happens. It'll be very
Yeah, it's gonna be
interesting.
messy, and we'll dive into more of that here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that you saw this weekend, football wise?
Tennessee Tech choked it
Oh
for
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Nico, I am a leaving. Chickened out of playing at Ohio State for a second time. I guess he got his brains beat in the ground the first time, so he's like, "Yeah, I got a concussion, boys. I'm out." So,
I saw
yeah,
that. Yeah.
what a winner at life, brick by brick, baby, brick by brick.
All right, NFL. Let's jump into some talk about the NFL. The Texans played at the Titans, 1 o'clock on Fox. The Texans were favored by 6.5, and the Texans kick a game-winning field goal to win 16-13. I could not watch that game here in Chattanooga. I was seeing the Falcons and the Panthers, so I'm trying to figure out why you live here in Tennessee, but I can't watch my Tennessee football team. So that's interesting. You know why, or is that just
Your Atlanta market, unfortunately, you're closer to the Falcon. I mean, it's weird. It used to be the Titans were on CBS back in the day, and the Falcons would be on Fox, and they play at the same time all the time. But now, I guess y'all are technically part of the greater Atlanta market. I don't. It's strange to me, but I guess it is what it is.
Yeah.
What was on CBS?
We
I
got the Bucks and the Bucks and the Bills were on CBS at one
yeah,
o'clock. So I watched
yeah,
some of that one.
and that's just unfortunate of having them both be on Fox now.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what unless it's a away game or something. I guess it goes on the home team's market. So
It might
I don't
be.
know, hate it, but hey,
um,
listen, I thought Titans were going to get me a win this week though. I did pick them to win, and they did. What a bunch of losers.
all right, the Panthers were 5-5, and they played at the Falcons. I watched this game. It was pretty good. It was back and forth. It was a pretty high scoring game. Um, the Panthers took the game. They scored a touchdown with a one wait to go in the game. I thought it would be the game winning, but the Falcons came back and kicked a 45-yard field goal to tie the game. So then it goes to overtime, and the Panthers kick a 28-yard field goal to win 30-27. I watched most of this game, and now the fans just don't know if the Falcons fans just don't care, or there's a lot of empty seats. So I don't know if they just got, they just, their fan base is just different, maybe. But
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They're not that good.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
They're all there, to go watch Georgia. It takes a lot of money to watch Georgia win national championship. You know what I'm saying? What's the deal here? So I obviously I didn't watch this. Who started at quarterback for
So
Falcons?
the Falcons quarterback got knocked out at one
Okay,
point with the injury, so they played Cousins came in
yeah,
and he played
yeah.
really well there at the end.
I mean,
I was
Bryce
surprised.
Young, 448 yards. Holy crap. That is some numbers in an NFL game, dude. This ain't college. That's impressive. 450 and 3 touchdowns, 31 out of 50, 45. I mean, buddy, whew, that's a good game. So, I mean, I don't know. I think I picked the Panthers. So, hey, happens.
All right. The Commanders were 3-7. They played the Dolphins in Spain. Game looked to be sold out. It was a
Yeah.
massive place over there in Spain. Dolphins kind of fell that they failed on the fourth and goal. So it was fourth and goal with like a minute something to go in the game, fourth quarter, and they went for it. If from the 1 yard line, they went for it. Oh, as a coach, would you go for it, or would you get the points to win possibly?
I mean, on the 1 yard line?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going for it. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I didn't
What they
watch
did.
this, but on the 1 yard line, I think I would go for it, and I would find a big running back or a linebacker or a defensive end or whoever, and give them the ball and tell them to give me 1 yard. I mean, I've said it for years. If you can't get 1 yard, you don't deserve to be on the field. Sorry.
You just got to be better than the defense, and you got to get that
Yeah,
yard. I agree.
yeah,
I agree with that. I think and it's probably a little bit tougher in the league to do it than maybe in college, but you just got to be able to get the 1 yard. If you want it bad enough, you're going to get it. So they didn't get it, and then it goes to overtime, and Miami kicks the game-winning field goal to win 16-13. Now that was a low-scoring game, which most of these games in the NFL get pretty high scoring with these players are really good. They catch a lot of passes and they can throw the ball a lot, and they got good running backs. So not the lowest scoring game, but I watched the end of it, and if it's gonna be in Spain, whatever. I don't love it, but I like how it looks full at least.
yeah. I mean, it's dumb, but it's cool. I don't got a whole lot to say. The dude in front of me at church was watching it today on his phone.
Okay. Oh, and some teams that won today was the Bears, so they are 7-3. The Bills won, they're 7-3, and the Patriots won, and they're 9-2. So those are some teams that I saw that have some good records and some teams to watch going into the playoffs.
Yeah, and you got the Chiefs Broncos playing right now, and they're tied. So we'll see how that game goes. Broncos get that win over the Chiefs. Chiefs are starting to look kind of sketchy if that happens. Broncos haven't lost at home yet this year, so see what happens there. Feels like it's about time for the Chiefs to turn it on, right? So we'll see what happens.
Each year they're always really good. These last couple, 5 or 10 years. So I think they're going to turn it on, and I think they'll be in the playoffs, and I think they're going to make a run, and like they always do. But I believe
got to turn it on sometime.
Yeah,
it's about time. So
at some point you got to get going.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, college basketball. Georgia Tech, Georgia came on at 9:00 Eastern time. Tech was undefeated. Georgia was undefeated going into it. They ain't really played anybody. Halftime was 46-45 Georgia. As a Tech fan, I knew the best shot was to keep it close. We hadn't won in a couple years. And this game was actually a little chippy. I didn't mind it. I used to be like, I don't care for they shouldn't be doing all that. Let's be good sportsmanship, whatever. But now I've just gotten older and stuff, and I maybe I just get it more now. There's a couple of guys really getting into it. They had to get separated a few times. A couple of hard fouls.
I love hard fouls in basketball.
There was a couple that were late.
I love that.
One guy fouled out with 5.
Yes, sir. You got 5. Can't take them with you when you go, baby.
And which happens each year in that game. It seems like so he had a pretty hard foul. He had the hard foul, and then he was playing some more, and then fouled again, and which then that got him out, and just we just fell apart in the second half. We kept it close, and then just didn't work out there at the end. We lost 92-87. We had a pretty good atmosphere. They had a lot of fans there, and the guys calling the game. I didn't care for the announcers too much. There's one guy. Oh, it was Tech played a Boston College. Those guys calling that game were kind of old school, and old school announcers have their old school sayings, old school ways, and this is kind of how this game was. Man, I was pulling my hair out watching both those games with how they were calling it.
Yeah. It can't be as bad as watching that Alabama quarterback call Alabama games. I am so over that. Good God. He might as well have an office there. Damn.
So that's unfortunate, but we're going to try to get them back. Get them next year, I guess you could always say. But
we're getting them in football this year, baby. Not next year. We're getting them in 3 weeks. Let's go. Ooh, I just turned the lights on my desk. Whoops.
So I'm looking forward to the football game, and looking forward to next week, kind of seeing how it's going to be different this year with the football game, with how if we can win, then we're locked into the conference. So it makes that game just a different feel as a fan.
You gonna go?
But
you gonna go?
I'm probably not gonna go.
You gonna go? Come on, you should go. Tickets can't be that expensive. You want me to look them up? Listen, you got the money. You got a podcast now. You can do it.
That's right. You tell them. So that's
about all Danny. He wants to go. Let's go. Get some tickets. He said he'll drive. It'll be fine.
Oh,
hey, you can't go to the ACC championship game because you're going to be in St. Louis. So you might as well at least go to the Georgia game. This is your chance. One shot, one opportunity, baby.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about some dirt racing here. Jonathan Davenport sweeps the weekend at the Sonoy Raceway down there in Georgia. So here we go. So there was a steering wheel toss at Bobby Pearson's car. So
Right.
I'll go first on this, and I'll let you go. So I like it. I probably, I first probably didn't like this kind of stuff, but now I'm starting to change my ways a little bit, and it was a good toss, man. It was right below the opening there, kind of right there by the numbers, and I was watching it live, and I was like, "Oh baby, let's go, let's get a little tempers." The only thing was he spent some time in the infield. Like I thought, we just got 3 laps for flat tires, but he maybe got like 8 or 10 laps. It seemed like, and there was a lot of the crowd was down there. There's just a lot going on down there in the pits.
Yeah, so I didn't get to watch this because I was at the racetrack, but I
Yeah.
saw the Hodge tire throw. As far as the laps go, I would assume it's a scoring issue they're trying to
Mm.
wind out, but or debris on the track. But I mean, did you talk about the helmet throw, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was sorry, I was looking up Georgia Tech Georgia tickets. Just for the record, the cheapest ticket you can purchase as of right now is $179, and you will be sitting in Chattanooga watching. But just want to let you know. Um, yeah, so like the helmet toss was perfect. Uh, I need to see some fire out of Brandon Overton, so
Yeah.
I was glad for that. We talked about it on the CFC that like he's had a kind of a disappointing year, so I was good to see him get out and show a little fire. I hadn't seen any fire out of him in a while, so I was glad to see that. And screw Bobby Pierce anyway, so he can't
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah. I get tired of Bob Pierce, and good to see JD sweep the weekend. He,
Yes,
had,
sir.
he's been looking better as of late, and he had some bad luck with the Lucas deal, but he come out and good
He's
to
been
see
on
him
fire
on. Good,
since.
yeah. So it's
See
I
him
like
at
to
the
see.
dome,
See him
baby.
out.
JD, come on, see us at the dome. We
I
need
saw some
another
names
win.
already. I didn't see his on there yet, but come on, JD, come on. I
I
saw some
think
good
he's on
names on
there.
the. Looking forward to the dome for sure here in just a couple of weeks. Now it's going to be here before we know it.
Yep.
NBA talk real quick. The Cavs beat the Grizz 108 to 100 on Saturday, and then the hockey, the Penguins got beat by the Preds on Friday afternoon, and then they played again in Pittsburgh, and the Penguins won 4-0 on that one. And with that being said, we're going to go on into the picks of the week, picks of last week. I guess I could say now.
Yep.
Texas at Georgia. Casper picked Georgia to cover the spread, and that's what they did. Bucks at the Bills. Casper had the Bills to cover the spread, and that's what happened. And then the flex, Seth had the so we both got this one wrong, but Casper had the Vols to cover the spread. Didn't quite. It was very close. That touchdown by the other team there at the end kind of
No.
ruined that. And then
No.
I had the Packers to cover, and they were half a point shy on that.
Happens. Get them next year.
So that
Hey,
puts
you having a trophy for this show?
Oh, I got to think of something good.
Okay.
I got one right over here.
Okay. All right. All
But
right.
that puts you up 1-0, and there's a tie. So 1-0-1. So I'll keep track of it, and we'll do this on Thursdays for the weekends. Those are
Sounds
something I
good.
always enjoy doing.
Sounds good.
But
Well,
I guess that about wraps it up. You got anything else that happened over the weekend, Casper?
I can complain just a little
Go
bit.
ahead.
This is back to NASCAR, but I listened to Denny Hamlin's
Oh
podcast. He
yeah.
whined like a baby. I've never heard anybody lose a championship and be like, nope, it's not my fault. The referees suck more than Denny Hamlin. Absolute garbage human being. I gained respect for him all year. I listened to that. It's awful. Y'all should go listen to Action Detrimental and then write a 0-star review for how bad he sounds. Crying like a little baby.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's all I got.
Some of those things you text me of what he said.
Those are actual quotes off the podcast.
Yeah.
Actual quotes, dude. Actual quotes. I don't need the one that really got me was the one about the trophy. I don't need the trophy to know I'm a champion.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
got me.
okay.
That one. That
I
was
was all I could think was brick by brick, and Butch Jones must be his motivational speaker. So
that being said, we're about out of time. I got some stickers and some buttons if y'all would want them. I've been seeing them at work on toolbox and whatnot. And with that, that's going to wrap us up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.